Week 14. Can't help but feel like we're hobbling toward the finish line here. We got games on Tuesdays. We got cancels games we don't even know about yet. We got half a team going on the COVID list. We got teams playing without quarterbacks. But we're here for you and us. We like watching football too. But let's get it, man. It's nickel and dime. Let's go. Week 14, Sean, did you think we'd make it?
Man, I mean, technically, I was pretty sure we was gonna make it because they didn't stop this thing with all the stuff that was going on after week 13. So yeah, right. I was pretty certain. I'd have made a prop bet on it. You know what I mean? I made a prop bet. So
it's
yeah,
weird
I'm glad that we're here though. We back.
Right, it's weird that we're filming on a Monday night and there's still a game tonight, which we're used to. But then there's another game tomorrow. Yeah. That we have no idea how.
Yeah, and turn out. Well, it's two games tonight, and we obviously have to talk about one.
The Steelers lost.
We always have to talk about one. Yeah.
Did you think Washington would be the team to do it?
No, nobody thought that, and I don't care who you are, what you say. You in your pool at work against Susan picked the Steelers to win this game. Like right. that's what happened. That's what happened. So, I mean. Montez Sweat, Drew, like that dude he's becoming a man child. Like, and I think he just doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't want to be outdone by Chase Young. I mean
that's a crazy.
You know he's getting all the glitz, but yeah, making plays all game too. But we gotta give it up to Big Riverboat, man. Gotta get up to Big Riverboat.
I love that guy, man. Like I love it. I love seeing it. Love seeing it.
Yeah.
Washington's got a lot of things to be excited about, man. They got some weapons. Yeah. They got some young guys. They got some studs on defense. I know Alex Smith. Hats off to Alex Smith. I will forever respect that dude. But if they get a quarterback in there, like, come on.
Yeah, because I definitely don't think this version of Alex Smith, he was staring down receivers all night. And I don't know, maybe it was me jinxing him. I don't want to put it all on me. But when I was watching, he was not playing well. And then I stopped watching. And all of a sudden, like, it's 17-17, right. And then they take the game. They finished out. So obviously, some things happened, and they got some things done. But once the Steelers were only putting up 14 points into the third quarter, I something was up. Something was amiss. You know what I mean? So
I don't want to get too far into it because we'll touch on it later. But quick, yes or no question. No going into it. Yes or no. Are Steelers an elite team in the NFL?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
We'll
the simple answer is yes. I like it. Nice tease.
Well, speaking of getting it done, man, the Saints get it done through the air. They beat the no one thought that Taysom Hill could throw. He threw for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. Got to give it to him a little bit.
You do have to tip of the cap to him. But I hate him. I
remember breaking the news to you that he signed that big contract, and you just sent a ugh.
Yeah, it was literally like yuck. You know what I mean? Like it was, and he's getting better. He is getting better. But what I think it is it's just Sean Payton being Sean Payton, Drew. Yeah. Like he heard the chatter about like him not being a real quarterback. And he's like, you know what?
I got you.
He might be able to run the ball, but like he's still able to throw slants, of course.
Who is that good for?
Some guy went to Ohio State. I can't remember his name, but he's funny looking and he whines a lot.
Oh, you're talking about Slant Boy.
I don't. Yeah. Slant Boy. Yeah, that guy. But 232 yards. I really thought the Falcons were about to take him. And
I was hoping
they weren't able to get it done. Yeah, well, you and me both. Even though it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Saints clinched. They're in the playoffs for sure. And weird seeing Saints in the last 2 years are 8-0 without Drew Brees.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's the mad genius that is Sean Payton, and not only that, but it's not Drew. You know, it's not all Drew Brees. They have a good team around him, and I think it's more so the team.
Great defense,
right? More so the team, yeah, than it is really Drew Brees at this stage in his career. So, hats off to him, man. But it really feels yuck coming from me. So, you too, I bet. No?
Oh yeah, I can't. I wish. I mean, if both of those teams could have lost,
dirty.
that would have been great. You know.
Yeah.
But some team that's not losing. Don't look now, Sean, but the Browns are 9-3. Getting it done.
9-3. And Drew, we got to talk about it because I had those boys losing to the Titans. I had them losing to the Titans, and they proved me and a lot of other folks wrong. Yeah. They just came out and had a great game plan. Baker was confident and poised. 339 yards, Drew, and 4 TDs. And the game wasn't as close as the final score indicated, was it?
Those receivers looked fantastic, man. Did that just prove to Cleveland management that maybe they don't need the headache that is Odell Beckham next year?
They have some questions to be asked, to be answered rather. Because he's out and they are thriving. There's no
the other guys are doing great.
Outside drama.
Higgins,
there's no. Yeah, oh yeah, and Baker threw those TDs to a bunch of different receivers. You know what I mean? Nobody expected Baker to have a day like this, so you got to give your tip of the cap to him. We kind of told y'all that the Browns were going to sell out to stop Derrick Henry, and they did that, man. I mean, he only had 60 yards for Henry.
When's the last time you heard that?
Not in quite some time. The way that he's been rushing the ball, the rushing leader, mind you,
if he doesn't put up 100, you're like, what?
Yeah,
Henry
almost feels off. Yeah, it almost feels off. But we also told y'all that Tannehill, I picked him to be my quarterback. He did not disappoint. I want to say he had 389, 3 TDs. He did have he had a pick. But it wasn't a lot of sacks in this game. I want to say Tennessee had no sacks. So if Baker's able to operate out of a clean, right? Yeah, if he's able to operate out of a clean pocket like that, you know what I mean? What is he supposed to do? And good for him that he was actually able to do it, because like we said last week, Drew, and we'll talk about it here in a minute with the AFC playoff predictor. Make sure y'all stay tuned for that. They needed it. They needed this game because it would have got very dicey had they lost. Yes, had they lost, it would have been very dicey for them. Just because open the kimono here a little bit, but because of everyone else's schedule, not necessarily because of their schedule, but because of the teams that are also vying for that playoff spot. The teams that they are playing aren't the greatest teams. So if those teams are getting wins and you lost to it, you know what I'm saying, just tiebreakers, it would have gotten dicey for them. So I have to give them a huge shout out that they actually won this game. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wins, man. Wins are something that the Jets are not used to, but they looked like they had one on Sunday.
You had it. It was so close, man. It was so close. Drew, what did you think? Were you watching? I
thought it was over. I was like, holy crap! I was ready to come on the show today and talk about the weird chain that is the AFC. The Raiders beat the Chiefs, but the Raiders lost to the Jets. I was ready to map out this whole thing, and then out of nowhere comes that last minute touchdown. I was barely paying attention. You know what I mean? I thought the game was over, and then the Jets blitz out of nowhere, hit one of the fastest guys in the AFC open in the end. Are you kidding me?
1-on-1. Yeah, 1-on-1. And look, Drew, I mean, this is the thing about it, man. Look, I mean, we'll talk about this game a little bit, but I caught the play when the ball was mid-air, and you could just start to see. Right. You could just start to see Ruggs get behind the defender, and I was like, oh no. I'm sitting there shaking, and you can see it. But what I didn't know, I found out all this after the fact, but I didn't know that they sent 6 rushers. I just saw that the ball was in the air.
Yeah.
And
you're used to Hail Marys. You're used to Hail Marys with a wall of defenders. And I just saw the play, the pass, and me being the bright, happy person that I am, was like, he's going to drop it.
Right.
And I
Well, that's
expected
what I'm
to
saying.
see
Like
the wall of
Ruggs,
defenders, and they weren't there.
yeah, Ruggs, he still had to make the catch, and he's a professional. Like, he did what he was supposed to do. I mean, obviously, he's played on big stages before. But look, I mean, everybody, obviously, we got to talk. Greg Williams got fired today because of that. You go cover zero in that situation in the game. But listen, this is my take on it, Drew. Like, you don't. If it was me, I would have sent maybe 5, no more than 5 rushers. He sent 6. Like, cover zero. Everybody was man up. It's not a horrible thing because the defenders, the defenders should have known where the ball was going, though, right? You should have known when the ball was going. And this is my thing. While Greg Williams is a garbage person, and also a garbage coach,
still in the league somehow.
Greg Williams didn't bite on the double move. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't Greg Williams that bit on that double move. So, like, you got to put some onus on the defender, man. I mean, where else was the ball supposed to go, my guy? It's 4 seconds left in the game. Where was the ball supposed to go? It's going to the end zone. Bro, you screwed up, man. You screwed up. Like, the coach didn't put you – he didn't make you do that. You know what I mean? So, like, it is what it is. But moving on to the next game, Drew. What you got, bro? True.
We got to talk about it, man. The Rams did what they needed to do. They beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Jared Goff took criticism from his coach like a man, like a professional, like a quarterback.
He did.
Put his head down and had 350 yards and a touchdown. And that Cam Akers, man, he looked like a star last night.
Yeah. We were a little bit early on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were a little bit early on him because I don't think I knew it was going to be a 3-headed monster at this point. Right. I thought he was just going to come out right out the gate. Had a great game. You know, right? Yeah, he did. But shout out to him that they're actually getting all those guys involved, and it bodes well for them coming down the stretch. So I like it.
Yeah. Especially if Goff's going to play like that. Nice complimentary football. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to be consistent though, and I just don't. That's the problem is I just don't know. He'll put 2 games together, have a bad game. He'll put 3 games together, have a bad game, and it's almost like it's coming. So it's just like, when is the shoe going to drop? Right. Yeah, when is the shoe going to drop, man? You know.
Well, I mean, they're in first place now thanks to the old Seahawks losing to the 4th place New York Giants. I'm saying 4th place because last night they looked like the 4th seed in the NFC. They didn't look like the bottom of the barrel, barely making it NFC East champions. You know what I mean? They looked like the 4th seed in the NFC with old Colt McCoy as the quarterback.
Right, with the backup quarterback. Now I gotta say, Drew, it's almost like the theory that Chris Mara has been saying. It keeps coming to fruition, man. Like, they're doing all this without Saquon Barkley. Like, it's just adding fuel to his fire. Yeah, it's just adding fuel to his fire.
Well, shout out to him real quick. He sent me, of course, he sent us some messages today. He said, nickel and dime needs to show respect to my Giants. Yes, sir, you're right. We are. He really wants to see Bucks Giants round 1.
Round 2, you mean?
In round 1 of the playoffs.
He's getting confident. You need a couple wins to do that to you, won't it? I
will give it to him. He made a very good point that the Giants very easily could have 9 wins because if their margin of victory has been so small. I did ask Callie Feld about old Colt McCoy, and he said he's trash. Hopes to have Jones back against Arizona. So
it's not untrue.
Yeah.
And obviously friend of the show, but I just love that every time
we definitely got to find a way to get him on if y'all play round 1 of the playoffs. We'll make this work.
It's just gonna be a shit talking bonanza. That's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be.
A bonanza.
But look, but Drew, nobody saw this coming. Like, nobody saw this coming.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the Giants have been playing great football.
Seattle's been playing like trash.
But that's it. Right. And with that Seattle offense, you know what I'm saying? And the defense have been playing better, right? Like they just had a nice sack game against Kyler Murray, you know, not that long ago, you know, corralling him, which is hard to do. They had Colt McCoy. What did you expect them to do? And they couldn't get it together. They looked off all day, Drew, to me. They looked off all day.
You couldn't have told me that they were only going to let the Giants score 17 points and Seattle would lose.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the big offense that is. They got Carson back. That, you know, we can't blame the run game anymore. Carson's back.
Yeah.
I don't know what their problem is on offense now. All of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, he had a drop that led to a pick, I believe, which
bounced right off his hands.
Exacerbated the problem. Yeah. Welcome back, Leonard Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, good to see that a top overall pick still has it and is on his second team in New York. Weirdly enough, but I mean, the Seahawks they've got to get it together. They especially if they want to be one of those top seeds, play the lower seeds in the playoffs, make it easy on yourself. They're in position to do that, and like losing a game like this isn't going to help. I mean, but it's more it really, to me, this is more of a statement for the Giants beating Seattle than Seattle losing to the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like the Giants beat them. They won that game. So you gotta give
that defense was
tip your cap to them. Yeah, they look great, man. They look great. So Drew, I gotta, moving on to the next game real quick. But listen, what if I told you the Saturday before the game that Cam Newton would only need 69 pass yards to beat the Chargers? Would you believe me?
I would have said, how did they eke that out?
Right. I wouldn't believe myself if I told myself that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it wouldn't have
45 to nil.
45 to nothing?
To nothing. They blanked the boys. Well, how does that even happen in this day and age? And you don't have...
What happened to Herbert? 2 picks, man.
Bro, I thought he was... He was...
That hurt my heart.
I guess he was kind of... It was me too, man.
Yeah, you had the Chargers winning that game.
Right, yeah. So, like, I did horrible.
Chargers
my locks
and Browns
were
let
shit.
you down.
They let me down, bro.
The Browns in a good way.
Titans, but yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna be picking some ducks this week, bro. I'm picking some ducks. I had
a little fun with it, But yeah, 69 passing yards, 2 rushing TDs gets it done.
Yeah, it does, and then he had one pass TD. So listen, I want to say, Drew, that we had a sign that things are actually going to be all right. I wanted to address that with you guys. A sign that things are going to be all right.
What's that sign?
Because you saw a sign in New England yesterday that they might have fixed the 2020 equilibrium. And you know why I think that, Drew, is because the Patriots have found another small white receiver.
Oh, he was fantastic.
To go off.
He was fantastic.
He was
that
great.
Punt return was amazing.
Was he not?
Oh,
that,
I love
all
it.
is right with the world now.
He got a trash time TD from Stidham.
Yes. Yeah. And he looked special on special teams, no pun intended, but like he was all over the place, man. I like it. And now it feels like
they found a guy.
They found another one. They just talk about the Steelers with wide receivers, man. I mean, like the Patriots with small white wide receivers, man. They just do it, man. You gotta have them. You gotta have them, man.
I love it. Shout to
Gunner.
Next week, I'm gonna dig up where that dude came from. We're gonna have his whole backstory for next week. Nice.
The Gunner story. I like it. What a title. Tune in next week. The Gunner story. So yeah, what we got up next, bro?
Well, real quick before we move on from our recap, Packers beat the Eagles. Like, I knew that was coming, but we got to see Jalen Hurts play.
Finally, Jalen Hurts makes a good appearance. And I mean, just before we even talk about the game, Drew, is Jalen Hurts, we have to address it. You answer and I'll answer as well. Is Jalen Hurts a starter next week? Yes or no?
You have to. Have to. That touchdown pass was amazing. It was beautiful. It just soared through the air.
But we said this, did we not? Like, if Jalen Hurts gets in the game, you are going to see a bump, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
I mean, here it is, side by side.
Touchdown.
Here's the Jalen Hurts 5 for 12, 109 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz 6 for 15, 79 yards.
6 for 15, 79?
Yeah. You got to let the guy play, man. You got to let him play. And I don't want this short rope nonsense. I don't want this Trubisky in Chicago nonsense. If you're going to play Jalen Hurts, let him play. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's going to make mistakes.
I'm with you on that.
Let him play. Don't just be like, dangle some playing time in front of him and be like, no. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you can the way that he kind of came in and took control of the game like that. Even though they lost, I mean, the end result was always going to be what it was going to be.
Right. Aaron Rodgers, 295, he looked like he had touchdowns. Come on. You can't beat him on those days.
It was always going to be what it was going to be. But I think Hurts should be the starter for the next game until he plays himself out like Carson Wentz did. I mean, you just didn't take Carson Wentz out. So it is what it is. But shout to Jalen Hurts. Packers get the dub, though, Drew. Packers get the dub. Keep putting themselves in position. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's our Week 13 recap. I got a couple of housekeeping notes real quick before we move on. Housekeeping. Cam Jordan, no sacks against Matt Ryan on Sunday. However, he still has the most by one player against a single quarterback. Cam Jordan has sacked Matt Ryan 21 times in their careers.
Jesus.
21.
God, he hate Cam Jordan. He hate Cam Jordan like I hate Cam Jordan.
Right? I didn't know it was 21.
Jesus. Like, nah. You know, he tired of seeing
that's
that.
A record,
he know what he knows that if you sack a man 21 times, you know his smell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what he smells like.
You know his fears. Like, you know what his tears taste like.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know all that. He probably gets whiffs in his sleep. You know what I mean?
He wakes up out of cold sweats like, Cam Jordan.
Yeah. At least 2 times a year.
All right. Eagles quarterback Darius Slay left the game against Green Bay, but nothing major. Just tweaked the knee, so he should be back next week. Like we said, Giants fire defensive coordinator Greg Williams after he blitzed on the last play like an idiot. I found this weird. Titans defensive end Tart and Bengals safety Williams both suspended 1 game each for stepping on players on purpose on Sunday. We just stepping on players?
It was it was a brawl. That's
like, not only are you 300 pounds,
man. You know what I mean?
But you got cleats on. Like, that hurts.
Cleats.
Oh.
Yeah. That's dirty. That's dirty. No condone. No condone.
No, don't step on nobody, man. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Just punch him in the helmet like you're supposed to. I still don't understand that, man. Like,
I don't get it, man.
Whatever. All right.
A tale as old as time, man. What is like?
And we'll probably see it next week.
If you want a broken hand, maybe they just want time off, Drew. Like, you know, you're gonna get some time off when you break your hand on somebody's helmet. I need these couple weeks, man. I gotta get these frequent flyer miles off my card. You know,
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Well, Gardner Minshew doesn't get not playing. Reports are that Jags quarterback is frustrated over playing time and has even begged the coach for more time.
Gardner.
We'll see how that plays out.
Chill out, bro. Yeah, that's a little much. I mean, this is a guy, like, we talked about this in the offseason, but, like, you remember that story about him breaking his hand because he, like, wanted more college eligibility. Like, this dude loves the game. So, I
hope he lands somewhere,
though.
But he's probably going to be a backup. I don't think he's a starter anymore.
Yeah, but it's not. We already talked about it. It's not a bad gig, man. Just be a backup.
I don't think he can handle it. I think he's going to get pissed. I say put him on the practice squad and let him play all the time.
More playing time on the practice squad than as a backup. I mean, honestly, it checks out.
Maybe he'll be the next star of the XFL. That's what I'm hoping for.
If they can never
be the face of that league, bro,
get the league off, you know what I mean, and have a season.
The Rock's in charge now. Okay, we're fine.
Oh, we straight.
Raiders are probably likely going to be without running back Josh Jacobs for another week against the Colts. That hurts.
That does, because they need him. They need him.
And I hate to say it, but 8 Panthers, including our 2-star receivers, Samuels and Moore, put on the COVID list today. I've heard.
Y'all hear that somberness in Drew's voice?
I mean, it's good. Like, I want them to lose. I want us to lose now anyway. You know what I mean? So, like, that if they stay on the list until Sunday, that guarantees that. So I'm all for it, man. Get that draft pick.
It's true. Yeah. But it like, I didn't even think about it in terms of that because, like, and honestly, you're right. Like, get a better draft pick. But, like, the way that it came about, man, it's still a bad look. Though.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's reports that someone went to a wedding. Like, we just wilded out on our week off, man. Who knows? I don't know.
Bye weeks, man. I know the Bucks better stay their ass home, man. Like,
hey,
I ain't
y'all
playing,
ain't in
bro.
trouble, so y'all have the same bye week we did, but
not yet. But we still. True. That's true. Good point, Drew. Good point.
Well, I mean, that's it for me, Sean.
Got aspirations,
right? I want you to play more around with that playoff predictor again, man. I had fun with that last week. So we did the NFC last week.
Nice, yeah.
Let's do the AFC this week.
What
are we looking like the next 2 weeks
this week?
Because we'll do it. We did 2 weeks for the NFC. Let's do 2 weeks for the AFC.
Oh yeah. So we'll get you guys. We'll get you guys up to date. Up to week 15. Especially with these last couple of games getting over today. So we're gonna look at the playoff scenarios and kind of let you know where everything stands. It really would have been interesting had the Browns lost. I mean, just for entertainment purposes, it would have been very entertaining to see like that whole thing. But it's still a lot of teams are still vying for a couple positions. So we'll look at it and we'll get to it. So let's go.
So how are we looking as of today? Going into week 14, what's the standings?
What's the standing? So as of right now, with these last two games, we still have to figure it out. But it looks like the Bills probably gonna take this one. The Ravens are gonna run all over the Cowboys tomorrow.
I hope,
unless they pull a Washington. Pull a Washington. But
I don't know.
As
Andy's
it stands
got
right
some magic.
I mean, maybe I ain't gonna put it off, especially with Washington. Beating the Steelers, man. I mean, and then the Jags almost beating the Vikings and the Bears losing to the no team is ever out of it. No team is ever out of it. So as it stands right now in the AFC, number 1 seed still Pittsburgh. Still Pittsburgh at 11-1. 2, Kansas City 11-1. Those two are going to be very interchangeable depending on who wins.
I think the Chiefs eventually take it.
Right, yeah. 3 seed Buffalo at 9-3. 4 is Tennessee after the loss. 5 is Cleveland Browns. So as it stands, they will meet again as it stands right now. First round of the playoffs. 6 seed Miami. 7th seed as it stands right now is Indianapolis Colts. Drew, I think how are our playoff predictions? They're looking pretty good right now, right?
Yeah.
For the AFC, our playoff predictions look pretty good.
Especially for me, if old Belichick slides in there some way, somehow, I'll be looking real good.
Right, yeah. So, all right, let's go on to week 14. So, week 14, let's get the losses out of the way. So, Green Bay over the Lions, Saints over the Eagles. I'm going to go ahead and say Seahawks over the Giants, but after last week, I don't really know.
Wait, who do they play?
So, the Seahawks play the Jets.
Ooh,
this coming up week.
You gotta think the Jets are gonna find some way to jet it up. So
right. I would think so. So I'm gonna say Titans get a bounce back win over the Jaguars. I'm gonna take the Cowboys over the Joe Burrow-less Bengals. So we got a couple games we'll need to pick here, Drew. We got a couple games we'll need to pick right here on the spot. For the AFC, I'm going to take your Panthers over the Broncos. I'm going to take the Texans over the Chicago Bears. And now we are at the picking games. Okay, so I'm going to take the Falcons over the Chargers. They look like they're reeling Falcons with a good offense. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Falcons over the Chargers next week. Now, here we are, Drew. We got a couple of games that we need to pick. Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders this coming up week, man.
I had a lot of trouble with this
one.
I'm going to say,
bro,
the Colts got to take this. They have to.
Okay. Yeah. I think they probably will, but that's anybody. That's a toss up for me. Yeah. So, now, the LA Rams over the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think so. This is a game that has some implications here, but Kansas City at the Miami Dolphins this weekend, Drew. Kansas City at the Dolphins. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs look strong. I want to say they're definitely the favorite in this game.
They got to find a way.
I think so too, but I like the Dolphins in the way that they play make me a little uneasy about it, right? Like, it's not a gimme. It's like definitely not a gimme. So
Tua still got some growing pains, I feel like.
Yeah, 296 yards for Tua, I want to say, yesterday. So good for him, but I'm taking the Chiefs. So this is a game we talked about last week, but has no implications for what we're talking about today. But Drew, this is actually, you know, my matchup coming up for later. Just a little teaser, but we'll get into it a little bit more. Cardinals at the Giants this weekend, Drew.
I'm gonna say the Giants win this one.
I think that we'll talk. I'm gonna talk about it. I'll give you my take. I'll give you my take a little bit later.
Okay.
All right. So let's pick the rest of the NFC teams. I'm just for me, I'm gonna take the Bucks over the Vikings.
For me
now. For me. So Ravens at the Browns, Drew. Implications are on the line in this one. I don't want to give
too much away because some of these are my locks later on. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So all right. So like, let me choose this one since you know. So let me choose this one. But I'm gonna take the Browns in this one over the Ravens. Okay. In this one for me. Okay. So after that, is that all the games? That is all the games. Oh no. This one we got to pick. I'm gonna take Washington after Washington at San Francisco this week. I'm taking Washington. Has no implications.
I think the defense is hungry, man. I think that's a good pick.
Right for this exercise. This might have been a catalyst game for them. This might have been a catalyst game.
I hope so, man. I'm pulling for him. Come on, you football team.
I love it. I love the way they're looking. Now this is the implication game right here. Steelers. Just fresh off an L at Drew, your Buffalo Bills. Good game this weekend. Good game. I just don't know, man. I mean, the Steelers, they look like they might have some things to figure out. But Steelers are also good to bounce back. So
yeah,
I think I don't know, man. I'm gonna take the Bills.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Bills in this one. I'm going to take the Bills in this one. Regress back to the mean. Bills defense might get it done. So if that is the case, that is all the games there are. So now after week 14, your wife's Kansas City Chiefs have moved up into the number one spot. As they should, sitting pretty once again in the number one seed, first round bye, 2 seed because of the loss. Because of the loss to the Bills in this scenario, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3 seed, even though they just beat the Steelers, the Buffalo Bills.
I'm loving
in the 3 seed.
I hope they make a nice little run. You know,
I like seeing the Bills in the playoffs. Man.
I want to see the Chiefs and Bills in the AFC Championship.
Oh God, that's 2 crazy fan bases, man. Somebody fighting.
Yeah.
Wait. Unless they have a vaccine, nobody's fighting. So
we're staying at the house and arguing on the
We're staying at the house. On Zoom. Yes, that's what we're doing. 4 seed is the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Still the 5th seed with the win. With both teams winning, so no differences there. Cleveland Browns, 6th seed Indianapolis, 7th seed Miami. So not much changing except change at the top in this scenario. Now let's move on to week 15. Let's get the week 15. Let's get the gimmies out of the way. So I'm going to take all the NFC. We'll do the NFC games, get those out of the way. Seattle at Washington. I'm taking Seattle.
For now,
really tough divisional game. Drew, off the top of your head, Chicago Bears at Minnesota Vikings. Who you got?
Minnesota.
All right, I think so too. LA Rams over the Jets.
Yes.
Patriots at Dolphins in week 15.
I think the Dolphins get them.
Okay, all right. It's a little intrigue on that matchup for me.
The Patriots
little intrigue.
I think Cam. I don't think Cam has a good day against that defense.
I think that would be the problem, but I could see Cam having a great rushing day also on the same token. So I don't know what you get out of that game, and that's why I think it's a little dicey for me.
It's not going to be 45-0. I promise that.
This is probably going to be one of our matchups, or we'll have to talk about it next week coming into week 15. But Kansas City Chiefs at the New Orleans Saints, Drew, and I think the Chiefs are going to roll, even though Drew Brees is probably looking like he's about to come back.
Good.
Yeah. That's going to be a matchup. I'm taking Titans over the Lions. That seems like a gimme game. Steelers over the Bengals.
Yep.
Colts facing the Texans. Colts are at home, Drew. Saucy game.
I mean, my heart wants the Texans to win, but I think the Colts squeak that out.
Right. Okay. All right. We'll go with logic on this one. We'll go with logic. Ravens over the Jaguars. Seems like a gimme game.
Unless Minshew comes back in.
Right. Yeah. So, Eagles at Cardinals. Toss up for me right now.
I think Cardinals going to win that game.
Okay. So you think the experience gets them. All right.
I think they're slipping, but not that far.
Yeah. Not that much. Okay, yeah. I see it. I hate to tell you, Drew, but Panthers got to go up to Lambeau week 15. I think y'all get the L there. We're going to
be cold and losing. That's tough.
Yeah, Bills at Denver. I think they get the win. Chargers at Las Vegas. I think Vegas. I guess I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah,
I'll take the Raiders. Browns at Giants, Drew. Browns at Giants.
Just for pure chaos sake in the AFC, let's do. What if the Browns lose that game?
They definitely could. They definitely could. All right. So it looks like it's every game that we have chosen. There's no change. There is no change.
So we
here.
got some steadiness, some calm.
It's some stability.
Right,
only because of, I think what you have here is, now we'll go back over it. Number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs, 2 seed Pittsburgh, 3 seed Buffalo, 4 seed Tennessee, 5 seed Cleveland, 6 seed Indianapolis, 7 seed Miami. Like,
how far out are the Ravens? Are the Ravens at number 8?
Now, see, this is the thing. Now, if Cam loses, or if Cam wins that game, Vegas slips in to the week 15 scenario, because if the Dolphins lose that game, the Las Vegas Raiders at 8-6 become the 7th seed in this scenario. So Dolphins got to watch out. Now. Let's say if
I mean,
they have to.
Isn't that poetic? You know, like, gotta beat the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like,
yep,
I love it.
And it comes down to the divisional games, man. And that's what I'm saying. These teams are very close. Now, this is what I'm saying. In this scenario, okay, so let's put it back. Let's say Dolphins win, right? Mm-hmm. The 7th seed Miami right now is 9-5. 6th seed is 10-4.
Those
so
are some good records
Baltimore
for playoff
in this
teams, man.
Right,
nice.
Exactly, and that's why it's so thick at the top. That's why you have to continue to win. This is what we're saying. You cannot afford a loss in any of these scenarios, because now that's the top 7 teams in the hunt at this point. Is you have Baltimore at 8-6. You have Las Vegas at 8-6. That's why they jump into the scenario here. So let's say Baltimore is probably going to beat the Jags, but if Herbert comes back, happens to shock the Raiders, and Cam wins, they still do not get in. The Baltimore Ravens, because they lost to the Browns the previous week in this scenario,
so they got to keep winning. And teams got
they have to keep winning. Ooh. And Drew, in this scenario, Vegas is, if the Miami comes, Vegas is now 7-7 because they lose to the Chargers. Baltimore is still 8-6, and they're not in the playoffs because of the tiebreaker with Miami. Miami has more tiebreakers over them, right?
Okay.
So it's getting kind of dicey for Baltimore. This is the witching hour for Baltimore, right?
They
got to win.
Become losses, and losses become wins.
Right.
Sorry, I watched the Red Zone too much.
I love Red Zone, man. Shout out to Red Zone 200th episode, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Them,
change the game. Yeah. Change
I
can't
game,
watch. So
I don't know any other way to watch football anymore.
Yeah. Now, if we go back, if we go back just for pure chaotic purposes, let's go back to week 14. Let's say the Raiders beat the Colts instead of the Colts beating the Raiders. Okay. And let's change up one more game. Let's say the Browns lose to the Ravens next week in week 14. Now, Stay with us here. Everything else remains the same. Now, if I change that, I will now change. Okay, no, let's keep everything the same. So Giants still beat the Browns. So the Browns are coming off 2 losses in a row, right, Drew? Have 2 losses in a row. Week 14, week 15. They can. Now let's say the Dolphins still beat the Patriots, and let's say the Raiders beat the Chargers like they should. Now it looks way different, Drew. It looks way different. So in this scenario, if we change it just a couple of games, plausible. This is all plausible, right? This is all plausible. The number 1 seed is still Kansas City, 13-1. 2 seed Pittsburgh, 12-2. 3 seed Buffalo, 11-3. 4 seed Tennessee at 10-4. Now you just saw. In reality, the Browns beat the snot out of the Titans. But in this scenario, losing those 2 straight, the 5th seed is now your Las Vegas Raiders at 9-5.
5 seed. Okay.
Right. The 6th seed in this scenario, Drew, your Miami Dolphins at 9-5, and the 7th seed, the Baltimore Ravens in this scenario.
So they need the Browns
at
to
9-5.
Ravens need some Browns to lose some games.
But Drew, this is what we were talking about last week. That's why it was so important for the Browns to win that game. Do you see what I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Like, it's so close, man. Like, because of who the Titans beat, who the Browns have beat, who they've lost to, all those tiebreakers, man, and these records being very, very close together, there is no opportunity for y'all to slip up. You have to continue to win. If you in this way on the NFC too, man. So we're only at week 15, folks. We're only at week 15 in this scenario. So it's a lot going on here. And hopefully y'all were able to keep up with us and follow. But we just our minds started going off in a million different directions here.
It's okay.
Right. So but yeah, so playoffs they're gonna be fun, Drew. They're gonna be real fun, man. I like it.
Well, speaking of excitement, let's get to our crushes. Man Crush Sundays.
Oh yeah. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite segments too, man.
Me too, man. I enjoy trying to pick different people each week.
Yeah, that's the hardest part because I hate giving the same names, and I like to look for, just little nuggets of information about folks. But so I picked last week who we went with first, Drew. So who you want to go this week?
Who is your wide receiver this week?
Oh, okay. All right. Starting with the sexy pick. And this man is a sexy mofo, but a man who needs no introduction at this point. But it is DK Metcalf versus the Jets. Drew, he is going to eat those boys alive.
Body fat. I love it.
Yeah. He had a bit of an off day, so he's gonna want to come back next week against these Jets who just lost that way. Yeah. He gonna want to go off, Drew. Who you got for your wide receiver?
I got Mr. Stephon Diggs, Buffalo against Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I think my man's gonna have a day. He's close to 1,000 yards. He might be up to 1,000 by now in the 49ers game.
And he wanted to.
Oh yeah.
He wants that.
He had asked for the trade in the offseason. He's been quiet and just playing. He's just been playing. You hadn't heard nothing.
Yep. But Stephon Diggs is also a guy. I respect the heck out of him, and he's also a guy who he gets up for big games, Drew. I don't know what it is, but he is a big game player. And this is a big game. So a very big game. So let's go. I think you're gonna like my tight end pick this week. So let's do tight end.
Okay, my tight end, Mr. Darren Waller, Mr. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, Darren Waller.
Yeah. I calculated it, man. Like, looking at his stats, I want to say he could have had to have like 45 points in a PPR league.
Exactly, you nailed it. He had 45 points because I have him in our league. I mean, I'm playing for nothing. I'm already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs in both of my leagues.
Right? Yeah, me too.
But whatever. He put up. I'm playing spoiler now. Like I beat old Chris Mara this week. Played spoiler to him. He still had a chance.
Hey,
nah, son.
Hey.
But
gotta bring him down some way.
Points. Like I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
You got to bring him down some way. That man's riding high right now. So
you can't have both.
Got to put a little salt in the cereal. Yeah. So yeah, so my tight end, Drew. Unfortunately for you, I said you were gonna like it, but you may not. But it's Noah Fant. It's Noah Fant versus the Panthers, man. Like, yeah. I had to look at who he's versus. I saw the name, but I was like, who is he versus? And I was like, oh.
I mean, Shaq Thompson might not play, so that's a good pick. Like, because that's probably who.
Oh, so it's even better.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he wasn't
He's one of the
play,
one of the 8.
Shaq. Come on, bruh.
You're supposed to be a leader, bruh.
He was probably dancing his ass off at that wedding too.
Right. Hope you had a good time.
I think Noah Fant's going to go off, man. He looked nice and smooth, and he has a chemistry with Drew Lock that I like. So I think he'll come. They
are
go
building
off.
up a rapport. I do like that.
Yeah, they are. So
what about your defense? What defense you got?
I think because I talked about it, last week about how big this game is, but their strength is also our strength, and we do what we do. It is the Bucs defense versus the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. I think that they are going to stop Dalvin Cook, and they're going to force Kirk Cousins to beat them.
Yeah.
And on any given Sunday, I'm not saying that it can't happen, but that's what they're going to do, and that's going to be the game, and I hope it plays out just that way too.
I can't help but feel like just watching him the last 2 weeks, Dalvin Cook's starting to show some wear. Like, he's getting tired.
They running that dude to the ground, bro.
Yeah, man. He's not bouncing up off of the plays like he used to. Like, he's hurting, man. I think that's a good pick.
That's been the knock on Dalvin, though, is because he is injury prone. Like, he is injury prone for as dynamic as he is. Like, he's very injury prone.
Some great things.
Yeah, he can do some great things. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he's had one full 16-game season yet in his career.
No,
I'd have to check on that. But Bucs D versus Minnesota. Drew, who you got?
I'm going with both the 49ers and the Washington football team. We could potentially be looking at like a 6-3 game here.
Yeah.
I think
49ers even playing pretty well.
This is going to be, if you like defense, watch this game. Robert Saleh's up for a head coaching spot. He's trying to shine.
He gonna get one.
Some beasts stepping up for Washington. I think both those guys are headhunting on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with that. Speaking of which, while we got a little breath here, shout out to Darrell Bevel of the Lions getting his win. We talked about it. We talked about that coaching bump last week. Did we?
That was their emotional win.
They got
it.
I
think they lose the rest.
That
of
was. Yeah, I like that.
Unfortunately, sorry, Alex, a fan of the show, Alex Alford, Lions fan. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's
But you won this week.
So who we got next? We got running back.
Yeah, I'm going with Mr. Kenyon Drake, Arizona Cardinals. I hadn't shouted him out this year.
Okay. Yeah. He's up and down, Drew. I feel like he'll have a good even in the game like it. Yeah. Well, that Giants rush defense.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them here in a little bit.
We'll talk about them here in a little bit. I think it's going to be super hard to contain him and Kyler. You know what I mean? So, I think they're going to be focused on Kyler and Hopkins. I think Drake gets a couple of yards.
I think it could be difficult, but I'll give my thoughts on them in a minute. But I can see it. I can see it. Might be a little down on that pick for you, but we'll see. Might have to have a little side bet.
I mean, I'll be happy with 50 yards and a touchdown. You know,
bro. Give me 10 points. I'm straight.
Yeah.
Well, not in this league. God damn. You give me. I need that average is going up to 15, 17 points. I need 15, 17.
We play with some killers. We have finally got a good league. I'm happy about it. We finally got
and I'm getting my ass whipped in it.
Oh, I'm not happy about that part.
Straight. Yeah. So my running back to rein it back in here, I got Alvin Kamara, man, for as much as I hate to say it.
That hurts that man to say that. It hurt. I just want y'all to know.
I really don't want to say that.
This took a lot for this man to say Kamara.
It does. I just don't like them, man. I just don't like them. I can't stand those dudes, man. No, all of them. They just, I can't stand them.
No wonder we're nothing to throw me for a loop and have Michael Thomas as your wide receiver one week.
That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. I'm strictly like on the strength of my hatred for that man. He will never be my man crush. Fair. Like I can't do it. Can't do it. But no, I think Alvin Kamara has like I don't know if Drew Brees is coming back for this game or for the next game, but I think that they're not going to let what's his face, the guy who's not really a quarterback, that guy, Taysom Hill. Yeah, I want to say like they're not really going to let him continue to throw the ball. I think Alvin Kamara is going to do a lot on the ground with the screen game.
Thing.
So yeah. Well, at least the game plan is going to switch it up.
Yeah,
because now there's tape out there on him throwing the ball, and like he can only show so much. I mean, you got to hide that dude more so than anything. So
yeah,
can y'all tell that I hate him?
Just a smidge. Well, if you hate that quarterback, which one do you like this week?
Oh, nice segue. I really love this guy, and man, again, who needs no introduction, but Deshaun Watson versus
that's my quarterback too.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, nice.
Man is pissed.
Nice. We've been in sync on a couple of these picks here recently.
Losing. I had to pick him. Yeah. Dude, he was fired up after that game.
Yeah, and he's like, bro, he is playing good football. Like he is playing good football, and his team's not. But I think weirdly enough for him, like I'm glad that he's not a different position because like eventually the team is going to play up to his level, I think, and he's at the quarterback position, so it has to happen. Whereas, like, say if he was a wide receiver and he was the number one guy on his team, there's really nothing he can do. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I say like if he wanted to get out, he probably pull his team up. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. For weirdly enough, I don't think he does. I think he wants to stay there and ball out. Like,
I think it depends on who this next coach is. If this next coach is some BS, I think
that's true. That's true. If it's a lame duck, yeah, I can see him wanting out. But if it's somebody with a little bit of cachet,
Bieniemy to go to Houston. That's just,
that story writes itself, Drew. Yeah, that story writes itself. They really need to make that happen. So,
well, let's move on to the matchup of the week. Which matchup you looking forward to on football Sunday?
Nice. Well, it has to be this matchup, and I know everybody knows that. Probably thinks I'm going to pick the Bucks versus Minnesota, but I am not. Actually, this matchup is more intriguing to me because I think the Bucks do take it this week, but I could be wrong. I'm not confident in that at all. Right, I'm not confident at all.
Talking about the
but this matchup is more intriguing because these two teams need it more. It is the Arizona Cardinals versus the New York Giants. That's who my matchup is, and
I'm excited about
we kind of alluded to this earlier in the show. But look, the Giants need to fend off the Washington football team, who just beat a 11-0 team in Pittsburgh. So the Giants need to keep winning. We talked about this with the AFC. It is just the same in the NFC. Giants need to keep winning. The Cards are fighting to remain in playoff relevancy. Drew, I mean, they're they're 6-6 right now or something like that. They're 6-6.
Yeah,
so like they have to keep winning, man. There are a lot of teams that are around the Cardinals too that are kind of nipping at their heels, so they have to not only maintain pace to get into the playoffs, but also fend off those other teams. So they're getting it from both sides. I mean, there's really no other way to put it than that. But look, I mean, and we're talking about the Bears, the Vikings, and the Bucks, and then of course there's San Fran, who's also in the hunt as well. But what do the stats tell us? The New York Giants are 31st in total offense, even though they have won some games. Did not get it done. Did nothing to help them, and you thought that he would. The Cardinals are ninth. The Cardinals are fourth in rushing offense. I mean, we knew that coming into the game. We know how dynamic Kyler is. We know what I think they're average like 150 yards a game, something like that. The Giants though are the fourth best rush defense per game in the league. So rubber meets road right there, which. Right, exactly. But the New York Giants overall, 10th. They are a top 10 defense still in this league. They are a top 10 defense. So not only that, Drew, but the Giants are at home. The Giants have won the last 4 straight, Drew. That's why Chris Mara is on his high horse right now, because they just reeled off 4 wins. And Drew, that's their last. Who was their last loss? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was their last loss. they have reeled off 4 straight wins.
That's fantastic.
They had some lame ducks in there, but then they just beat a team in Seattle who solidifies all of those other victories, to be honest with you.
Well,
right?
I mean, that's what keeps them from being a lame duck themselves, is they beat the lame duck.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, because they needed that. So the Cardinals, though, have lost 3 straight, 2 tough divisional games, and 1 game to the GOAT coach. I mean, Bill Belichick. So, like, they have some tough losses on their schedule. This is all of this to say that the Giants being home in the way that the Giants are ascending right now, the Cardinals inconsistent and looking a little down. I think the Giants kind of take this game, Drew.
Especially if Jones comes back with a fury.
Yes, sir. Jones coming, and then they getting Jones coming back too. And I think that beating the Seattle Seahawks is really going to light a fire under this defense even more. Jabril Peppers having a nice resurgent season in New York.
Guy. I'm enjoying it.
And may have found a home.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So he was delivering some shots yesterday. He popped Chris Carson. Chris Carson gave him one too.
He wants
gave
to
him
play.
One too. So
yeah, he wants to play in the playoffs, man. I appreciate that about him.
Yeah. So that's my matchup. Drew, who you got for your matchup this week, bro?
I got the now not undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills.
Nice.
We get playoff football in December. I love it.
Yeah.
This is the 2 and 3 seed.
It's a great
battling
matchup
right there. I love it.
Yeah. And I mean, this is I think the fun thing about it is, that we it is playoff football, but we got a chance to see round 2 very quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
love it, man. I think whoever has the better run game wins this, because they are struggling. The Steelers had 21 rushing yards as a team against Washington.
Really?
21.
What was I didn't even think to look. Was Connor playing? Is he just is he just not doing well? I know I saw Snell in there
I don't think Connor played.
I saw Snell playing. That's what it is.
Yeah, they had McFarland, Snell, Samuels, and Big Ben ran it once.
Oh, well, that probably wasn't going to go for much.
He had 0 yards.
Yeah, I did see Snell. I saw Snell in there. I do like Snell, but that sucks for them, man. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but I think a lot riding on that. I want to see whose offense shows up. I mean, Big Ben still had 305 and 2 TDs and a pick against Washington. Yeah. But Josh Allen against Big Ben, if Josh Allen's the quarterback that we think he is turning into, he steps up and delivers for his team during this game.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So definitely see that.
This also leads into my locks. We'll go ahead and get into our locks, because I picked this game in my locks. I just
nice.
Don't want to brag too much, but I'm 18-8 to your 16-10 since you went 0-2 last week.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking last week. I don't know what I was thinking last week, man. I did not do myself any favors. So I basically I've got to have a 2-0 week, and you got to have a 0-2 week for me to get back in it. So look,
no,
don't come at me in the comments. Don't come at me on Twitter. Your boy is picking some ducks this week, okay? Your boy is picking some ducks. Some ducks.
I mean, it's got to be close going into the playoffs. I like it. But I'm picking the Steelers to lose to the Bills here. I think they go back-to-back weeks. I think the Bills do what it takes. Singletary gets going. Okay. Josh Allen does it with his feet if he can't do it through the air. I think the Steelers in for a rough one.
Okay, so you think that was your loss, right? Pittsburgh
that was my loss.
To
Steelers losing to Bills.
God damn it, Drew. That's what I had as my loss too.
Yes.
God damn.
Yes.
Pittsburgh
We're
lost
going
to
out
the Bills.
Together.
Oh my God. Damn. I was listening to you. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this game back. I was doing my little shimmy and everything.
Nope.
I had it, and then I looked at my paper.
Wins.
I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Shit. God damn.
Well,
Pittsburgh lost to the Bills. That's my loss too.
Who's your win? Who you got guaranteed to win next week?
Who is my win? Again, picking some ducks. Tennessee over Jacksonville, baby. Okay. Got Tennessee over Jacksonville.
I'm gonna laugh if Minshew comes in
kick
and
them while they're down.
400.
He gonna throw for 5 TDs, 398 yards, man. Calling it right now. Full headband swag too.
Aviators on
Full
the field.
Headband.
The refs are like, I ain't even saying nothing.
He might go out there with a cigarette.
Smoking Minshew. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
smoking Minshew.
I got the Browns beating the Ravens. That's my win for the week.
Browns beating the Ravens.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew getting confident with his picks, picking good teams, good matchups.
Yeah, man, I want to pick some games that matter, and these are 2 games that matter for sure.
They really are. They really are. Maybe if I go 2-0, then I'll get back on the horse of picking some hard games.
Yeah, no, you gotta do what you gotta do. If I went 0-2 last week, those wouldn't be my picks. So I saw a lot of trap games, man, that I didn't want to invest in. You know what I mean? Like I was like, they're definitely maybe they're not gonna win. I don't know. Like I overthought this week, but we'll see.
And it's crazy because like how different a week can make you feel differently about a team. I mean, we talked about it before, man, but like how differently do you feel seeing the Browns put it on the Titans like that about going into their next game and their next game? And you know what I'm saying? It's like, or
which
you
is
see
funny to me.
Seattle team.
Yeah.
Lose to the Giants.
It makes me feel weird about both teams. You know what I mean? Like, I don't suddenly feel better about the Browns, even though I picked them. Like, that's more of a I don't feel good about the Ravens than anything. But watching that Tennessee Browns game, I was like, who's the good team here? I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, we talked about it before, but like on the NFC side, but like there's just no dominant teams. I mean, aside from the Chiefs, and even they've had their struggles at times, at points. Their struggles have come not from a couple games in a row, but they'll go through a struggle for a quarter or a half, right? So, right, and then they'll figure it out. Like not like other teams who go through struggles for multiple weeks. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Speaking of struggles, real quick, man, before we get out of here, who's your step-up candidates?
Oh, man. Look, we just going to keep it real simple because we need to get out of here. We appreciate y'all sticking with us. But step it up. You have got to step it up. Doug Peterson, man. Doug Peterson is my step it up candidate for this week. Do the right thing, Doug. Do the right thing, Doug. You know what you need to do. Step it up. Put the money aside, Doug. Put the money aside. Give him a chance. Put him in there. Let him get it done.
We don't even need to talk about that Carson Wentz is going to be an Eagle for the foreseeable future.
With that contract. But that's what I'm saying.
Much. Those cap hits are too much.
You need to do the right thing in this situation here. I just don't know what to say, man. Like,
please play Hurts.
You got to get him in there. You got to get him in there, and you can step up to the plate. You can step up to the plate.
I was like, oh,
I did as soon as he came in. Yeah. Yep. And this is what I'm saying. Like, just point blank. Period. Step it up. Step up to the plate. Do the right thing here. Put Jalen Hurts in there. Be a good coach, man, because Carson Wentz might be there because of that contract. You might not. But you know what I'm saying? So,
on the flip side, I think he's doing Carson Wentz a favor if he gives him a couple of weeks off. You know what I mean? Like,
we talked about that a couple. Yeah.
Clearly, something's not right. I think he's got a big old case of the yips. Like, look. I think give him a break, man. I think you're helping both players. Like, if Washington and New York keeps winning, you're not going to make the playoffs. And if you do, you're not going to last that long. Play Hurts, rest Wentz, let them both get together, and then have a good old-fashioned quarterback duel in training camp next year.
Yeah, I mean, just put it that way. And if, like, I mean, it is a business, but, like, sometimes in business, you just have to eat costs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you might have to eat the contract, man. But, like, you'll make that money back if you're going to the playoffs or going to Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? If you make the right decision to get a quarterback. And, Drew, I think you hit the nail on the head on that one, man. And real quick before we get out of here, but, like, I think it has to be mental. It looks mental with Carson Wentz. He just doesn't look like he's very confident right now, and I think that's exactly what it is because we know the ability's there, but like your mind is a great mystery, man. You know what I'm saying? He can do some crazy things to you. I mean, and
both Manning brothers
the game's
made
moving way too fast for him right now.
On their mind on their own. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So that's all for me, man. I think. talked about it. Appreciate everybody for following us on Twitter and on IG. And, of course, got to mention it at @nickel_Dom football on IG. Make sure to follow that below. At @nickel_Dom FB on Twitter. And at the Kid Suds on Twitter for my personal account. But follow us, like, comments, share, subscribe. And, Drew, what you got, bro?
Follow me on Instagram at @LaughWithHarrison. You can check all of our past episodes and so much more on DrewHarrisonComedy.com. Check it out. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page. We love you. Keep watching. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Peace.